Thank you for logging on to the Voice Sports Network for this broadcast of high school sports. We encourage you to go to the games and support your area teams. We know you have a choice, and thank you for choosing us. This broadcast wouldn't be possible without the support of the sponsors you hear throughout the game. We encourage you to visit their businesses and use their service as often as possible. Be sure to tell them thanks for their support. Now, sit back and enjoy the game, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Norwell Night Basketball on WellsCountyVoice.com. This is Greg Van Meter along with Derek Decker. We are at the Castle this evening for another huge NE8 contest. This one between your Knights and the visiting Bulldogs from New Haven. Norwell coming into this game with a 7-6 record. New Haven at 9-4 and considered one of really two real contenders. East Noble, if you count them in there as well. I'm kind of surprised they're undefeated in the conference to this point. But Huntington North, who would have been considered one of the favorites coming into the conference, is now 0-2.
Yeah, that's right. And Huntington has just struggled a little bit. And Coach Teagle, what that kind of style is, it's sort of similar to what Norwell tries to do, at least this year. Really trying to play ball control, and we've talked about it so many times. In general, what that does is it can keep you in a lot of games that you shouldn't be in, but it can also keep other teams that shouldn't be in the game with you. So playing that style is a little bit dangerous if you're playing a team of lesser caliber, and I really thought Huntington North had a legitimate chance, especially after seeing them beat New Haven at the Huntington tournament. Right. In overtime. Granted, very close game, scored the last 8 points to force that thing to overtime. Great game. But I thought they had a legitimate chance to run the table in the conference. That's not so. Huntington falls in their first two. Yeah,
and they were so good pre-conference, and they just struggled. East Noble, really the surprise team to this point. Yeah. They're 3-0 in the conference and lead New Haven right now by a half a game.
They do, because last Friday night, when everybody else in the conference got snowed out, East Noble beat DeKalb. And I wouldn't be doing my job. I hate to go back to old games and past games and bad losses for the Knights, but I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't bring up the fact that the loss to DeKalb is going to hurt them late in the season.
Yeah,
that's the fact of the matter. That's a game Norwell probably should have won. When you look back at it, had every chance to win that basketball game there at the end, and just wasn't able to get it done. And that's DeKalb's only conference win. They're now 1-2. In the Northeast State, so that loss really hurting Norwell because they were able to upset Leo 2 weeks ago, should say. They were able to upset Leo here at home, so that kind of put them back in the conversation. So Norwell's a long ways away from being out of the conversation, but the next step is going to have to be upset New Haven here tonight to stay in the race. A second loss would make it very difficult, and I'm not going to even put that out of question because I think everybody in the conference could lose 2 games because this is an ultra-competitive conference. The Northeast State is as good as it's been in a while again, really. On the boys' side this year, it's very competitive, very balanced in the middle. And we've seen some of these teams, especially a team like New Haven, the way they're built, they can compete with a lot of the SAC teams in Fort Wayne. They're kind of like that sort of team. They really like to push the pace. Norwell, the polar opposite of that. They don't have the athletes that New Haven has, so what they're going to try to do, as they do with so many other teams, a la Wayne, when they went on the road there, lost by just 4 points, one of Norwell's better games this year, not able to pull out the win. But I think they did almost everything that they wanted to do to keep themselves in that basketball.
Yeah, they really controlled the tempo of that game. It was a loss, but Wayne, obviously one of the better teams in the area, one of the contenders. I don't know that they still are in the SAC, and that's really been shaken up this weekend with Homestead knocking off Northside last night. But and there it is right there. Homestead now 5-0 in the conference. Fort Wayne North 4-1. 13-4 overall, and the feeling preseason was that North was so loaded with talent nobody would come near him.
Yeah, and I think Coach McBride's the one that called that one the best because I talked to him before the season started. What do you think about Northside? Is Northside overrated? And he said absolutely yes. This is a Legends ball club that was heavily favored by most of the Fort Wayne media, kind of written off by a lot of the media. And a lot of the SAC teams have had other things to say about that. Homestead, after what looked like it may be a very down year. They got blown out at Huntington North to start the season by 23 points, never in that basketball game. So there's a lot of things that can change over the first half of a basketball season. We're just about the halfway point, a little bit over the halfway point here in the boys' slate, almost to the end of the girls' slate, too. So the basketball season beginning to wrap up very quickly on the girls' side at least. But, yeah, Homestead definitely the surprise in the SAC. But New Haven, which we knew was going to be a contender this year, they have kind of performed as expected. They've got a couple of real close losses. They've been in every basketball game they've played in. And so this is going to be a very tough challenge for the Knights here tonight. Yeah,
New Haven with 4 losses. They took a tough loss at home against Blackhawks, 70-67. Yeah. Another very close loss at Wayne, 65-63. Lake Central, not familiar with them. They lost by 8. And then, of course, that Huntington North overtime game that you mentioned at the holiday tournament. Those are their only 4 losses that they've had. They're on a 4-game winning streak coming into this one tonight. Their last game was 4 days ago, would have been Tuesday at Garrett, non-conference contest, and not much of a game there. They won by 34. Norwell, on the other hand, has not played since that Wayne game on the 9th, and so that was 11 days ago. It'll be interesting to see if they've got to knock off some rust. They've also got to deal without the services of Cole Wilson tonight.
Yeah, they sure do, and he has not been at practice all week. He's got an illness and will be continue to be out. Hopefully we'll be back in time for Tuesday's trip to Northfield. That's a game that Norwell's probably going to win. Northfield has really struggled. They've only got a couple of wins, and one of those wins was a 3-point win over Southern Wells. So they're really struggling. It's a game where Norwell kind of cruised to victory last year, recovering a little bit because I think it was the same type of thing coming off the New Haven loss last year, where a game where they got away early. The Bulldogs were able to pull away in that contest early, hit 6 or 7 in a row to start off the game from the 3-point line. So when you get out to a hot start, I think that's very key for Norwell tonight. They've got to establish the pace early and figure out a way to slow down the Bulldogs. If they get into a shootout with these guys, it's not going to be pretty for the Knights.
Yeah, speaking of that Northfield game, Derek, that one we will not be broadcasting that game as we will be at Lures for the girls' games. That'll be the second time this season, other than tournaments, holiday tournaments, that they're playing on the same night. Very unusual circumstance, and we have to kind of pick where we're going. So, of course, the other conflict was the boys at Bluffton.
That was carried, though.
It worked out okay.
Yep.
This time, though, there will be no broadcast of that Norwell-Northfield game at Northfield, and we apologize for that. Just not able to bring it to you. We will take a break because we'll have a live performance of the national anthem tonight, so we'll take a break right now, hear from a couple of sponsors, and be back with the wrap-up of your pregame show. Thanks for joining us on WellsCountyVoice.com.
A new adventure awaits. Above the clouds, beneath the waves, among the rocks, powered by the light around us. Each moment of time is precious. Go higher, deeper, further. Pursue your dreams. Powered by light. Any light never needs a battery. Citizen ProMaster. Go beyond.
Daniel's Jewelers, North Main Street, Bluffton, where personal attention and trust become part of the memory.
At First Bank of Bern, we believe in supporting growing businesses. And in our community, that means a lot. We believe it's important to have a local perspective. Our agribusiness professionals are from here, so they understand what it takes for agribusinesses to succeed, like having the right banking solutions to keep agribusiness thriving. From traditional accounts to cash management and equipment loans to crop insurance, we believe we can help your business grow. First Bank of Bern, member FDIC.
At Bluffton Family Eye Care, our optometrists provide more than routine family eye care. Doctors Mitchell, Miller, and Fry are also specially trained to provide advanced treatment for eye infections, dry eyes, eye allergies, foreign body removal, and eye injuries. There are many treatments available for these eye health issues, and a treatment plan will be recommended based on your specific needs. To ensure healthy eyes and your best possible vision, our optometrists combine experience and expertise with the latest technology. They provide the expert care, advice, and the follow-up you need to look and feel your best.
To look and feel your best, visit Drs. Mitchell, Miller, and Fry at Bluffton Family Eye Care, 105 West Harvest Road in Bluffton. Call 824-3424. That's 824-3424, or online at BlufftonFamilyEyeCare.com.
Now, welcome back to the Castle. We're about a minute away from the sportsmanship announcement, followed by the national anthem live performance by the Norwell Pep Band, who is in attendance here this evening. And we talk about just about every time. It just adds an extra element to the atmosphere here this evening. Very nice crowd on hand, at least from Norwell. The New Haven faithful, with a few rows, they filled in nicely after the JV game. But one of the better crowds here this season, so it's good to see for a conference game Saturday night. Has huge Northeast 8 conference implications, and this is a place that New Haven has kind of struggled at. A lot of the conference teams do. The Knights have done a great job of making this a very tough place to win. They've pulled off a number of upsets in the past several years. The last time New Haven came in, actually, a 3-point win for the Knights, 47-44. And that was an upset for Norwell in a year that they really struggled and went 9-16. So they've definitely got the capabilities to do that. A lot of that helps being here at home.
Well, and I'll tell you, Coach McBride has taken advantage of every advantage with this squad. It's time now for your national anthem, and you can join with us. Excellent job, as always, by your Norwell Pep Band. We'll now join public address announcer Jamie Feldheiser for the starting lineups.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we recognize our starting lineups for tonight's game, would you please direct your attention to the upper level of the visiting stands as we are honored to have the winningest coach in Wells County history.
Coach Jerry Lewis with us tonight. As he stands up and gets some recognition. Of course, Jerry, winningest coach in Norwell history.
Wells County history as well.
In Wells County history, okay. Of course, his 88 team got to the semi-state, lost in the second game of the semi-state that year. Of course, that was Darren Archbold's senior year, a great team. And he was my high school coach. Great guy. It was great to see him tonight. Now it's time for the starting lineups.
Starting at a guard, a senior, number 1, Mario Robinson. Starting at the other guard, a senior, number 2, Ricard Clark. Starting at forward, a senior, number 3, Zach Latham. Starting at another forward, a senior, number 4, James Gardner. And starting at the other forward, a senior, number 20, Davian Harris. And the New Haven Bulldogs is Mr. Bruce Stevens.
That's one of my favorite things to watch, Derek. The banners, when they unfurl them. Great job by the Norwell cheerleaders with that. Once again, your starters for New Haven, the visitors on the scoreboard. It's Demario Robinson, Brakar Clark, Zach Latham, James Garner, and Davion Harris. For head coach Bruce Stevens. For Norwell, it's Luke Zetas, Will Geiger, Connor Torson, Levi Leidig, who's starting for the ill Cole Wilson, and Brandon Nicholson for head coach Mike McBride. Thank you, sir. And we are off and running. Geiger breaks free. Zetas with the assist. And the Knights on the scoreboard. Quickly, nice play run there by the Knights off the tip, as Nicholson kind of stole the tip. Quick three launched by Brakar Clark.
Well,
not particularly close.
If you're Norwell, things could not have gone better in the first 20 seconds. You got exactly what you want on offense, and you forced a silly shot by New Haven.
And Zetas double dribbled. It got his right hand on the ball a second time.
Sure did. Yeah, that's going to be another key here for the Knights tonight. They've got to figure out a way to take care of the basketball and take advantage of all the chances they may have, because they're going to have to be very efficient against an offensively minded New Haven team.
Yeah, and a lot of this game's going to be decided by who controls the pace. If Norwell can slow down New Haven like they did Wayne, as that shot from Harris way off. Zetas hauling down the rebound on the backside. Can certainly bode well for the Knights. Nicholson on the high post. Now Zetas, they're looking to get it into Geiger. Geiger's being fronted by James Garner. Garner, a very strong player, physically strong. There they loop it into Nicholson. It's batted away, but Zetas able to control it. The interior pass is kicked away and ends up in the hands of Davion Harris. Brakar Clark will bring it the other way. Now Garner. Gardner just blows by Nicholson. Wide open in the corner for three. That was Zach Latham, and we talked about him a little bit prior to going on the air this evening. Derek, you said he is quite a shooter.
He is, and Luke Zetas is going to be doing his best on him this evening. Coach McBride trusting his best defender and putting him on Latham, trying to shut him down and limit these touches for Mr. Latham.
Interesting that he and Luke are both left-handed, as another steal there by Harris. Quickly the other way. The shot does not go for Clark.
Norwell's very fortunate. They've turned it over 3 times here in the first 2 minutes, and that's not going to go here for the entirety of this basketball game, so they've got to figure that out.
They only trail by 1 on the three-pointer from Latham. That's Leidig with the basketball. He's being guarded by Robinson. Geiger tries to get it inside. He comes up short, and Garner pulls down the rebound. Another quick shot from Clark. This time he knocks it down.
Yeah, and not much you can do if you're Norwell. That's, again,
it's just rising above it, isn't it?
Yeah, it sure is. And New Haven's kind of all over the backcourt right now. Norwell still a step behind. So I think maybe this is knocking away that rust a little bit. You touched on that, not playing for 11 days, and that's not common to see here at this point in the season.
No, if you are, it's weather-related, and that's exactly what
it is.
Has happened to the Knights. Torson, Zetas, and Leidig trying to get it into the front court, and they turn it over again. And Coach McBride, this has been a concern for Coach all year long, is being able to break pressure, and New Haven is going to bring a lot of it with basically 4 guards, and then Harris. Oh, nice interior pass. That's an assist for Robinson as Harris gets his first basket. New Haven off to a 5-point lead, and they get another turnover. Latham the other way. Clark for 3. Good.
Coach McBride, I know he hates using him in the first quarter, but he's got to think about a timeout.
Yeah, he's in a tough spot already with the Knights down by 8. The first 20 seconds went so well, and the Knights haven't scored since. Into the front court is Nicholson. He's going to try to take it to the hole, and he just ran right over Harris. That'll be Nicholson's first foul and another turnover on the Knights. That's 6 of them, Derek.
Yeah, that's way too many.
4:24 left in this first quarter, and Brandon had a head of steam going as Quentin Purdy will replace Leidig in the Norwell lineup.
Yeah,
it hurts not having Cole Wilson here.
Yeah, it does. I like the idea there by Brandon, but he's got to know better than that. He's done that too many times this year to do that again. It's a simple stuff, and that was a good defensive play by New Haven.
Yep, Garner. Oh, great pass inside. Garner with the assist, and Robinson with the basket. It's a 12-2 New Haven lead. We're under 4 minutes now. Norwell having real trouble getting the ball across half court. Finally, Zetas will leave it for Torsen. Geiger thought about it, tries to drive, coughs it up. Heading the other way is Clark, and that's going to be a foul on Connor Torsen. It'll be his first, team second. New Haven's just a couple of steps faster than Norwell here, Derek.
Well, and we knew Norwell wasn't going to be able to. They don't have, quite frankly, there's no athletic comparison in this game. But it's not. That doesn't mean it's not a winnable game.
Right.
You've just got to figure out.
Execute.
Exactly, and Norwell's not doing that right now. They've got 7 turnovers in the first 4 minutes of the game.
Latham with his first miss. That was Quentin Purdy pulling down the rebound. Norwell's only gotten 2 shots offensively. Will Geiger made one and missed one. So they just haven't had near the opportunities. Nicholson traveled. Oh, they're going to call a foul, so we'll see who that's on. Looks like it's on Davion Harris. That's his first, team's first. And Nicholson might have some blood on him. And Will Geiger might too. They're looking at their uniforms. So I don't know that either one of them is bleeding.
Yeah, I think somebody else could be bleeding here. And they had it on their jersey. So and it is. I think it's a New Haven player that's got something on his hand.
It looks like Latham is down there with Geiger and Nicholson. So they're going to clean them up. And must not have been too bad. Another sub here for Norwell. Reeser is going to check in.
And now Leidig's going to shoot the free throws.
So Leidig checked in for Nicholson. Reeser checked in for Geiger.
And Brandon not happy about that.
Trey Reeser, number 32. Leidig, number 23. And Leidig able to knock down the first one. The only advantage to that happening is you get to pick who your shooter is.
Yeah, and they picked the right one with Levi.
Yeah, they really did. Also checking into the New Haven lineup, Thomas Latham, and he's just a freshman, Derek. As Leidig good on both free throws. He does look very comfortable at the free throw line. New Haven's lead now at 8 with 3:16 left here in the first quarter. Robinson across the line. This is a senior-laden squad.
All 5 seniors to start the basketball game for New Haven.
Mm-hmm. Interesting that 4 of them are 1, 2, 3, 4 number-wise. Nice pass from Garner. And Latham not able to knock it down. But Garner got the rebound. He missed as well, and Reeser pulled down the rebound.
Yeah, and that's what Trey does for you. He's an athletic kid that can pull down some rebounds. So we may see him be utilized more than we've seen him ever before.
Leidig on the wing. He's being guarded by Robinson. Boy, Robinson just looks big compared to Levi Light. And I don't mean that much taller, and he is, but he's just that much stronger looking. Leidig jump stop in the lane, blocked by Latham. And there's Clark on the other end. He misses, and Leidig able to pull down the rebound. Down here it was Latham with the block.
That was a fortunate play for Quentin Purdy. He had it knocked away from him, found it again, and then laid it in. And it's only 12-6, so
that's
Norwell
right.
Trying to hang around here a little bit. If they can weather the big storm off the start here, then they'll be all right.
Well, the issue right now is just New Haven's gotten so many more chances as Latham travels.
Well, that's one way or another. It was going to be a turnover. He was in the lane for about 8 seconds.
Yeah,
so
he was in there quite a while. Geiger and Nicholson check back in for the Knights. So it's those two, Torsen, Reeser, and Purdy out there. 1:44 left. The looping pass to Geiger into the front court. He blows right around Latham, but Latham got a hand on it. Clark pulled down the rebound, and a foul on the other end. They're going to count that?
They're going to count it.
Yeah, that was a continuation play.
I don't know who the foul was on.
Connor
I think it's got to be on Torsen, and that hurts because that's number 2.
Garner, for him, that's his first basket. All 5 starters now for New Haven have scored.
Yeah. Norwell has definitely not. That's a nice rebound by Will Geiger, but Norwell has not done what they wanted to here in this first quarter.
No, they really haven't. They've not had a lot of opportunities at turnovers, so it's what's really limited. They've got 7 already. Nicholson will give it up. Reeser will launch a long 3. No good. And the rebound was pulled down by Donovan Lewis. Now, Lewis just into the game. That's a turnover for New Haven, their second.
Yeah, I think Norwell forced that shot a little bit. Trey Reeser getting a little antsy. That's a nice drive by Purdy, but he couldn't get it to go.
Nicholson pulls it down. Can't get it to go, but he'll go to the line.
Yeah, that was a much better look. And I like Quentin Purdy, seeing him be aggressive here. He's gotten to the basket a couple of times here in this first quarter.
That was called on Thomas Latham, his first, team's second. And Nicholson, a good-looking stroke from the free throw line. Nicholson has not had a field goal attempt yet.
Right, he's been fouled twice.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And of course, the other one was waved off on the charging call. Brandon will try to make it a 6-point game, and he does. Very good from the free throw line.
Yep. Brandon really looks comfortable there as well. So, and we've talked about it throughout the season. Norwell's free throw shooting percentage has gotten much better.
It has.
Both the boys and the girls have improved immensely over the course of the year.
Geiger has, of course, he gets a lot of free throws, and him shooting the way he has the last few games has really had an impact on the overall numbers for the Knights.
Yep. That's right. They all started back in that tournament, in the Huntington tournament. They shot about 60 free throws and only missed 5 or 6 for the entire tournament.
Garner giving it up. Bakar Clark open for 3. That's no good, and Geiger will pull down the rebound.
It's knocked out, so Norwell will probably look for one shot if they can with 21 seconds left, but you got to be careful doing that. You want to make sure you get a shot and not turn it over here before the end of the quarter.
Yeah, boy, if they can potentially knock down a 3
and
as
turn it
it's
over.
thrown away.
That's just you can't do that. That's
No.
You've got to take care of the basketball. I think that's 8 turnovers now here in this first quarter. That's on pace for 30-plus, and you're never going to win a basketball game against a more athletic team doing that.
16 seconds left in the quarter, and so New Haven will get the last shot. Robinson almost stepped into a 3 there. Loops it inside. Garner did a great job of pulling down that pass. Geiger with a good defensive play. It'll remain New Haven's ball, though, with 3.5 on the clock. Garner finds Clark. Clark launches an off-balance 3, not close. Latham, though, gets it off, and I don't know that it would have counted. That'll end the first quarter. The Knights trail here at home versus New Haven 14-8. We'll take a break and be back after these words.
Welcome to the new Heidi Automotive Group. We have a brand new state-of-the-art facility. Now you can shop for a new Chevrolet, Buick, Dodge, Ram, Jeep, or Chrysler at the same location right here in Bluffton, Indiana. We have a huge selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, vans, and crossovers. We focus on quality, and that is why we certify our pre-owned inventory so you get more warranty, free maintenance, and peace of mind. Don't worry about your credit. We have financing options for everyone. Heidi Automotive Group, a new look, but old-fashioned integrity.
Welcome back to the Castle. We're through one quarter of play. New Haven leads Norwell 14-8. The computer prediction in this one was 61-50 New Haven. We're on pace right now for a similar number. Norwell just way too many turnovers in that first quarter. However, after all of that, after as bad as they played, I think that's probably close to as bad as they can play in a quarter. And they're only down 6 against a solid basketball team. So you've got to be counting your lucky stars if you're Norwell and take advantage of the fact that you're only down a couple of scores.
Their free throw shooting is really keeping them in the game, 4 for 4 from the line.
Yep.
Whereas New Haven's 0 for 1. Yeah, half their points, that's right. Into the ball game is number 5, Anton Washington. He misses that shot.
Nice defense by Nicholson. Put his hands straight up. He's a big kid, and he's able to do that and contested that shot.
Geiger pulls down another rebound. I've got him with 4 of those already. Nicholson being guarded by Washington. He'll work himself into the lane, banging away, misses the shot, and the rebound is tied up.
Well, this is an Indianapolis crew, and you're going to get away with banging inside. And I'm totally okay with that as long as it's consistent throughout the basketball game. This is a conference game as well, so it's been called very, very well so far.
The quick pass into Geiger. Geiger with the fake and gets it to go.
Yeah, he cuts the New Haven lead to just 4.
Geiger now with 4 points. 2 for 4 from the field. Robinson slowly across half court. Garner and a little motion offense here. That's Donovan Lewis with a basketball, and traveling's going to be called. First of the quarter for New Haven, just third of the game for the Bulldogs. They continue the 2-2-1 full court pressure. Had a lot of success with that so far. Light again to the front court to Reeser. Nicholson might have got away with one there. The rebound controlled by Zetas. Zetas scores. Zetas in the right place at the right time.
Greg, correct me if I'm wrong here. I think the officials missed that. Nicholson ran the baseline there. That was off of a dead ball.
Oh, yeah.
They missed that. I mean, he took many shuffles, so that's a break for Norwell.
Well, and I think you're right, Derek.
I could be wrong here. Maybe I'm missing something, but he clearly took shuffles, so either I don't know the rule or they missed it.
Reeser with the offensive rebound. Couldn't get it to go. Boy, good rebound, though, by Trey. Quickly the other way. That's going to be a potential 4-point play for New Haven as Donovan Lewis bombs in the 3. Reeser ran over him.
That's bad defense by Norwell, and that's how New Haven can beat you. They're going to beat you in transition. When they speed it up is when they're best. They haven't looked good in their half-court game. They've only looked good when they've been able to force live ball turnovers and push the pace. So that's important going forward for the Knights.
Clark and Harris back in for the Bulldogs. Connor Torson back in for the Knights as Reeser takes a seat. That's as many minutes as Trey's gotten in the first half so far. The 3-point effort, no good, as Zetas pulled down the rebound. So just 3 points on the play for New Haven. They've got a 5-point lead, 6:22 left in the half. Zetas tangled up, stuck inside, turned it over. Coming out of there is Lewis. Up ahead, Clark. Clark gets free, scores, and is fouled.
It's the same thing. Live ball turnover, and they get it in transition. You've got to clean it up. I mean, this is as many turnovers as we've seen the Knights have in the first half here this year.
9 of them already. And it has been the difference in the game. And you got to give New Haven credit. They're putting a lot of pressure on the ball.
And that last particular possession was just Zetas finding a lane, and that lane closed up really quick, and he got stuck on the baseline and tried to feed it into a spot where there wasn't one.
Yeah, there just wasn't any room there. The long pass gets through to Geiger. Geiger finds Nicholson. Nicholson gets to the rim. Can't get it to go. Geiger misses, and the rebound pulled down by Lewis. Quickly the other way, and New Haven turns it over. Geiger coming out of there with it.
Well, Norwell got a couple good looks that last possession, just couldn't finish.
Yeah, they're 2 for 8 from the field in this quarter. They were 2 of 7 in the first quarter, only got 7 opportunities to New Haven's 15. Zetas to the basket. He can't get it to go, and Lewis pulls down another rebound. Well,
people are missing layups here,
yeah.
right and left. And that's, you can't get away with that.
I don't know if they're just feeling the pressure from the more athletic Bulldogs, but they're certainly struggling with getting the basketball to go through the hoop. Geiger with another rebound. He is really cleaning up on the boards. I've got him to 7 rebounds already.
Well, you really want to see Norwell close this gap before halftime, and here's why. You don't want to be playing from behind against a New Haven team.
Zetta's shot was blocked.
Yeah, that's going to be over the back. You don't want to be playing catch-up with a New Haven team that can score quick, and that what it forces you to do is speed up the game towards the end, so you can't stay behind and then expect a comeback. That's really not likely against a team built like New Haven.
Well, Connor Torsen just picked up his 3rd foul. He's replaced by Purdy in the Norwell lineup. Connor has not seen a lot of action.
Yeah, he's been in foul trouble all night.
Yeah, he really has. Washington bulls his way to the basket and scores. That was too easy for Antoine Washington, his first basket. And it's back up to a 10-point lead for New Haven with 4.5 minutes left in this first half. Oh.
That's the travel.
Yep, got away with it, though. They find Geiger underneath. Good pass from Nicholson. Nicholson with the assist. Geiger with his 6th point. Latham the other way. And Washington spins inside, no good. Zetas comes out of there with the rebound.
He's going to try to push it.
The jump stop is blocked.
Nice find.
Yep. Luke ends up with the assist. Geiger with his 8th point. And Norwell have scored the last 4. Yeah, didn't work on the first click. 3:40 left in the half. Clark up top. Norwell has played exclusively man-to-man so far. Clark launches another long 3. Boy, he takes a lot of bad shots.
Yeah. He's a good shooter, and that's why he does it. He's just not getting to fall tonight.
Yeah.
A lot of times, he has the ability to knock down those shots, so he's kind of got the green light all the time.
1 for 5 from beyond the arc so far for Clark. Nicholson loops it into Geiger. Geiger gets it up and in.
Boy, Norwell's been much more effective. They're getting good looks, and now the difference being that they're being able to finish right around the rim. They've got this lead all the way back down to 4.
Yeah, Geiger with 8 points in the quarter. Nice pass inside. Harris gets free. It's 4 points now for Harris. Good find there by Lewis for the assist. Geiger in the front court leaves it for Leidig. Leidig will drive and can't get the left-handed shot to go. Washington saves it.
Look at that
quickly
pass.
The other way.
Look at that pass. What a great series there for New Haven. That was just pretty passes in the lead back to 8.
Harris with the assist. Good interior passing. Well, every time Norwell cuts it to 4 points, New Haven responds with 4 of their own, and that's going to be another turnover on the Knights as Purdy was the last one to touch it.
And it's because of live ball turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's really no other way to put it. That has been by far the driving factor in this basketball game and the difference.
Back into the game for Norwell's Trey Reeser. He replaced Zetas. And Robinson's going to launch at 3. Garner there for the rebound, and he's going to be fouled.
Yeah, Norwell was fundamentally poor on that box-out attempt. Nobody got a body on him. They just kind of stood there and looked for a rebound, and it cost him a foul and sends Clark to the line.
Quentin Purdy picks up his first
Take it
foul.
back, it's Gardner at the line.
Team's 7th. New Haven only has been charged with 3 fouls to this point. And Garner will go back to the line. Now, he was 0 for 1 in the first quarter, but he knocks this one down. Garner gets most of his points near the rim on the move. He's just so athletic and can't knock down this free throw. Geiger pulls down another rebound. Well, I've got Geiger with a ton of rebounds already. He's really been around the basketball. Of course, that's probably his greatest strength as a basketball player. He's just got a great nose for the ball. Nicholson kicks it out to Leidig for three. Doesn't hit anything, and that'll be New Haven's basketball. Levi 0 for 2 on the evening. Robinson will bring it up for New Haven. We've got that little motion offense going up top as Gardner switches directions. Latham, how does he get so open? No, they gave him three on the shot. And boy, he just continues to get wide open down the corner. Biggest lead of the game for New Haven at 12, and Geiger can't handle the pass. 3 turnovers in the quarter for the Knights, 11 for the game. Purdy will take a seat as Zetas checks back in. Boy, and somebody's got to stay on Zach Latham. He's 2 for 2 from beyond the arc with 8 points so far. And they're going to say Robinson carried the basketball. That's 3 turnovers in the quarter on New Haven. 1:06 left in this second quarter. I think New Haven's going to stick in that 2-2-1 until Norwell proves they can beat it consistently. Zetas dribbles into the trap, and it'll remain Norwell's ball. You got to have a little bit more movement than what Norwell has right now against the 2-2-1. Go get the basketball. There's the trap. Zetas. Finally, they get it across to Geiger as Leidig will leave it for Zetas. Zetas thought about the three. Geiger will drive instead, and that's going to be a blocking foul called on Harris. That'll be his second. Just the 4th team foul on the Bulldogs.
It's going to be a shooting foul.
Geiger has gotten so much better from the line, Derek. He really struggled early on.
And kind of the same pattern as he had last year as a freshman. Really had trouble, but that by the end, at the beginning and by the end of the year, he was shooting close to 80%. Not quite at that number here this year.
No, but he has really improved.
Yeah.
2 for 2 so far from the line this evening. And he's got 12 points already, 33 seconds left in the half. Thomas Latham, by the way, back into the New Haven lineup, number 30. New Haven's going to be content to hold it here for the last shot. Norwell's not going to force it. They trail by 10. Are you a little surprised by that, Derek?
No, because I think Norwell has gotten beat too many times when they try to force the action, so they're going to allow him to do that.
6 seconds. Garner is going to go to the rack, miss it. Latham, though, with the offensive putback. Good play by the freshman. That will end the first half, and Latham with the putback basket gives New Haven a 12-point lead going into the locker room. We'll take a break and be back with your halftime show after these words from our sponsors.
Reed's Do It Best Hardware and Gift Shop is so much more than a hardware store. They have a newly expanded housewares department. They carry Melissa and Doug toys, Yankee candles, and Willow Tree collectibles. Think of Reed's Gift Shop year-round for baby gifts, birthday, anniversary, showers, and for those everyday items you need to pick up. Men, you can get your hardware supplies and a gift for the woman in your life all in one stop. Reed's Do It Best Hardware and Gift Shop, open 7 days a week on Highway 1 North in Bluffton. We appreciate your business.
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Indiana. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Do you know a 7th grader looking for a fun place to spend time with friends? Are you looking for an environment where your teen is surrounded by positive role models? These days, your middle school student is probably very interactive, but is he or she active? 7th grade is a time when sports become more competitive and provide less opportunity for the average child to be involved in physical activity. The YMCA wants to emphasize the value of a healthy lifestyle by offering a free Y membership to every 7th grader in Allen, Whitley, and Wells counties. It's the wise way of giving back to this community. Students thrive in a safe environment where they can grow in spirit, mind, and body. Get to your local Y and sign your 7th grader up for a free Y membership. It's that simple. Offer good for every 7th grader residing in Allen, Whitley, and Wells counties. For more information, stop by your local Y or visit fwymca.org or email hereforyou@fwymca.org.
Every team knows that the three-point play can be a winning move. That's why State Farm and me, Kevin Beatty, and my team are here to help you go for three by combining your home, auto, and life insurance. It's a great call that saves you time and money. So go for the win and score savings by combining your home, auto, and life. It's just another way we're here to help things go right. So call me, State Farm Agent Kevin Beatty, at 824-1928. It's a great call that saves you time and money.
At First Bank of Bern, we follow a set of ideals and values that define who we are. Honesty, integrity, respect, and compassion. They guide us every day in our work and in our lives because we believe banking should be easy and everyone should be treated with respect regardless of their account size. It's why people have trusted us with their banking for generations. It makes us who we are. First Bank of Bern. We believe in the value of people. Member FDIC.
At Corrective Chiropractic, we offer individualized treatment plans for patients of all ages, from infants to elderly, and even during pregnancy. Have you ever experienced a workplace, sports, or auto accident, or just keep suffering from chronic pain? Corrective Chiropractic can help. Knee, neck, shoulder, or back pain, headaches, migraines, allergies, muscular tension? Corrective Chiropractic can help.
I'm Dr. Josh Bell from Corrective Chiropractic, serving Bluffton, Yoder, Decatur, Bern, Montpelier, and the surrounding area to help you feel and function better. Schedule your appointment today at 260-353-1400 and let Corrective Chiropractic help you along your journey to health and wellness. Corrective Chiropractic, 360 North Main Street, Suite A, Dutch Mill Plaza, Bluffton, Indiana.
Now, welcome back to the Castle. We're at halftime. New Haven leads Norwell 32-20. The Bulldogs got off to a great start, 12-2 run to start the game, and that's been the difference so far. The Knights have played them even since then. A lot of turnovers, and Greg, I know you have the statistics.
Yeah, it tells quite the story. As much as the turnovers are hurting the Knights, they really cleaned it up in the second quarter. Free throws are keeping them in the game.
Yeah.
So they trail by 12 here at halftime, but it could be much worse. Also, New Haven not shooting particularly well, although their percentage isn't bad. The big thing is opportunities. They've had 6 more than the Knights so far. As a team, New Haven has shot 13 of 28 from the field. That's 46%. 4 of 10 from beyond the arc is New Haven, and then just 2 of 5 from the free throw line. They've committed just 5 turnovers in the first half. That's a really good number. And then they've collected 12 rebounds along the way. They're scoring very balanced. They've had 7 players score in the first half. Brekar Clark with 8 and Zach Latham with 8 lead the way. Latham 3 of 5 from the field and 2 of 3 from beyond the arc. Davian Harris had 4 points in the first half, a bucket in each quarter. Then 2 players with 3, James Garner and Donovan Lewis, each had 3. Then with 3 players, Demario Robinson, Antoine Washington, and Thomas Latham. He's the freshman, had the putback basket there late at the end of the half. I would say, a solid half for New Haven in that first half. They continue to shoot 40% from beyond the arc. It's going to be a long second half for the Knights. For Norwell, as a team, they were 7 of 22 from the field. That's 32%. 0 of 2 from beyond the arc, and 6 of 7 from the free throw line. We talked about free throws being important. Those 6 of 7's very good. That's 86%, and has really helped to keep them at least within a manageable distance here at halftime. Norwell committed 11 turnovers in the first half. 8 of those, though, were in the first quarter, and collected 19 rebounds. So they collected a number of offensive rebounds, especially in that second quarter. They were led in scoring by Will Geiger. Geiger was 5 of 8 from the field in the first half. Also, a big number here, collected 8 rebounds in the first half, Derek. So he had 3/4 of the rebounds that New Haven had as a team. Then no one else had more than 2 points for the Knights. 4 players had that. Quentin Purdy was 1 of 2 from the field. Levi Leidig hit a couple of free throws. He was 0 for 2 from the field, as did Brandon Nicholson. Hit a couple free throws and was 0 of 3 from the field. In fact, Brandon didn't take a shot in that first quarter. Trey Reeser took a couple of shots, didn't hit them, had a couple of rebounds. And I'll tell you the one I think they really need to get going in the second half is Luke Zettis. Luke was 1 of 5, collected 4 rebounds and a couple of assists, but if he can start knocking down a couple of shots from outside, I think it would really change the dynamic for the Knights.
It would, and the 2 things that stuck out to me that need to be addressed in the second half. Number 1, there's no other way to put it. There's no in-depth type of analysis. It's clean up the turnovers, and you're in the game. Shot attempts is what you're looking for. They didn't get enough of them in that first half because they had too many turnovers. Secondly, what they're doing defensively is not working, particularly with Zach Latham. And I'm surprised at that because I thought typically when Luke Zettis is assigned to a guy, he's going to do about the best he can. And I think that's Norwell's best chance going forward. It usually is. Tonight's not worked because they're being able to draw Zettis in. They've been able to suck the defense in. It's an inside out. It's a drive and kick type of thing, and Latham's been open too many times on the perimeter. And the other thing that comes to mind is the rebounds. You're not as athletic, and I understand that, but you've got to be fundamentally the best that you can be. There's a lot of times in that half where it doesn't matter how athletic you are, you're going to get the rebound because Norwell was not boxing out on several occasions. So there's a lot of basic things that Norwell's typically solid at that they're just not doing well tonight. And I mean, really, when you come up with a game plan, you expect your team to do the things that they do well regularly to do well again. That's what you're kind of counting on. And those kind of things are boxing out, getting rebounds. This is a Norwell team that rebounds very, very well. Turnovers have been up and down, a little bit of a concern, but way more than expected here tonight. And they really haven't been able to slow the pace down all that much. They've let New Haven get into transition too many times. Again, it all goes back to the turnovers, and that creates transition offense for the Bulldogs. So a lot of things to work on in the second half, but Norwell by no means out of the basketball game here.
Oh, no.
They have made a couple of runs and quickly cut the lead to 4. So far, New Haven has had an answer each time, but that was because Norwell continued to turn it over, so they got to clean that up.
And there's Latham for 3. Misses this one. Zettis able to pull down the rebound. That was a quick three from Zach Latham on the inbounds play. Well-run play.
It was.
And Latham was wide open. He just couldn't knock it down this particular time.
Norwell's got to take advantage of that right now.
Both sets of starters out there on the floor for each team. Robinson, Clark, Latham, Garner, and Harris for New Haven. Zettis, Geiger, Torson, Leidig, and Nicholson for the Knights. Nicholson's got the basketball.
Torson's got to be careful with 3 fouls. He has not had an impact at all in this game.
He just had those quick fouls as Leidig's shot is 0 for 2. 2 from the field. 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 2 from the knocked away. Geiger, though, able to collect another offensive rebound and 2 more points.
He's close to a double-double already.
Yeah, I've got him with 14 points and 9 rebounds. Norwell's gone to a zone defense as Gardner kicks it in the corner to Clark. They're chasing with Leidig on the baseline, so it's like a 1-3-1. They're not trapping real hard out of it. I think mostly just to give New Haven a different look. Garner open for 3, no good. And Nicholson pulls down a good rebound. Knights will head the other way, trailing by 10.
Yeah, I do like the adjustment made there by Coach McBride. Just kind of throwing something else at them and trying to get a good start to the second half, get back into this one.
Yeah, they'll need to find Latham, though, on the defensive end.
Yep.
He definitely can shoot it. Missed his first shot, but Zetas didn't take the 3, drives instead, gets it underneath to Geiger. Out of bounds, it'll remain Norwell's basketball.
I probably would have liked to see Zetas take that 3 there.
Yeah, I think Luke needs to take that shot.
Yep, and he can knock that down. I mean,
he can.
He's got the best chance on the team in knocking it down.
Yeah,
so.
He's only taken 1 3 this evening.
He's had a number of looks, too, so he's been unselfish with the basketball.
He certainly has. Geiger into the middle to Zetas. Zetas' shot is blocked by Latham. It'll remain Norwell's ball, though.
And that's why an outside shot can help, because New Haven is just kind of blocking everything away unless it's Geiger inside. They've even blocked Geiger a couple of times so far.
Yeah. Leidig into the middle. Levi in there amongst the trees as Zetas. Good move into the lane. Banks home the floater. Norwell within 8 now. New Haven has not scored yet in this third quarter. Nice move by Garner. Harris pulls down the rebound. He's going to be fouled.
It's on Nicholson, I think.
That'll go on Zetas. That's his first.
A couple guys reaching in there.
8 fouls called on the Knights so far this evening, just 3 on the Bulldogs. Harris good on the first free throw. Not a particularly pretty looking shot. Harris looking to nail down his 6th point here and does not. Rebound gathered up by Zetas. And there's that trap. Geiger on the angle pass. He'll take it to the basket and miss it. Latham is tied up.
Stay with Norwell. So nice effort there by Geiger. Missing the shot, but didn't sulk about it. Got right back in there for the rebound and was able to tie him up. Nice inbounds.
Geiger on the inbounds pass. Great pass there. That was Torsen with the assist. Geiger now with 16 points. Leidig working hard inside on defense. Robinson gives it up. And a foul's going to be called. I think it's going to go on Robinson. It'll be his first turnover of the second half for New Haven as well. Norwell's not committed a turnover yet in this second half.
And look at what it's produced offensively. Yep. Even the one, and Norwell ended up scoring eventually anyway, but Geiger missed one right at the rim as well. So that was another good look that they didn't convert on. So they're getting the looks now.
Leidig into the front court. We'll leave it for Geiger. Torsen, he's being guarded by Robinson, and as you mentioned, Derek, he's got 3 fouls, so he's got to be careful. Yeah. And the Knights throw it away. Gardner the other way, scores. Boy, nice move there by James Gardner. First field goal of the second half for New Haven, and a foul's going to be called out on the floor on the Geiger drive. Yeah, it's going to go on Zach Latham. That's his second. Team second. Back in for New Haven is Antoine Washington and Donovan Lewis. Nicholson gets free.
Another foul is going to be called. Wow. A couple light fouls inside. And
yeah.
New Haven has equaled their first half total already in this third quarter.
Washington picks up his first. Leidig being guarded by Clark. Having trouble up top. We don't even have heights on the New Haven players. As that's, going to be a blocking foul called.
I'm surprised there was any foul call there, really.
There wasn't much contact.
Yeah, he went flying and tried to draw the call, but...
It'll go on Garner. That's his first.
More often than not, we've seen that been called an offensive foul all year on Will.
Yeah.
So I think that's 3 fouls this trip down the floor for New Haven.
4:21 left here in the third quarter. Torsen, the quick pass to Geiger. It's taken away by Clark. Clark the other way, lays it up and in.
Every time. Every single time their baskets are coming off of turnovers.
That's Clark's 10th point now. And the lead back up to 11 for New Haven. Geiger goes all the way the other way, and he's going to draw a foul.
Well, apparently that's how Norwell's going to get back into this game, is just to take it aggressive at the rim and hope for a foul call, because right now it's working, and they're getting to the line.
Washington picks up his second and sends Geiger back to the line. Geiger with 16 points thus far. Now he's not pulling down rebounds at the pace he was earlier, but still having a great night. Can't get that free throw to go. That's the first free throw, Derek, he's missed in a while.
I think that's the first Norwell missed tonight as well.
That's right. Nope, second. They were 6 of 7 in the first half. Zetas missed one.
That's right.
Geiger will try to get back on the make track here, and he does. Nothing but net. Norwell down by 10, and they get the steal. Geiger in the right place at the right time. He will go to the rim and get... Wow, they call a foul on James Garner.
Yeah, I thought that was a good call. I thought he did get the ball with his hand, but he got him with the body.
Yeah, so yeah.
That's a good call. So that's already 6. So Norwell is going to be shooting the bonus here for the rest of the game. So that's a big turn of events here. Norwell is going to have to be aggressive and continue to knock down the free throws.
The fouls have really flipped. Norwell's had just 1 foul called on him here in the second half. Quentin Purdy will check back in for the Knights. Leidig takes his seat. Geiger trying to add to his game-leading total with 3:56 left here in the third, and he does. Well, Norwell's gotten it down to about 6 a couple of times. They've got it down to 8 right now.
They need to string together a couple of stops.
Lewis inside to Washington. He's going to be fouled by Geiger. That'll be 2 on Will.
Pretty good whack by Will, just going for the ball, but banged into him.
3:43 left. Torsen is not in there. Yeah, he is still in there, I guess. He's played a long time with 3 fouls.
Yeah, he's done a nice job now here in the second half after struggling the entirety of the first half.
Clark with another missed 3. Geiger with another rebound. Boy, we've said that a lot tonight. Norwell the other way. They'll slow it down. Norwell doing a better job of controlling the pace, I think, here in the second half. As Nicholson able to get it back and throws it away.
Travels.
Yeah, it was going to be a turnover either way.
Why not go up with the basketball there? At least, I mean...
I think he got stuck.
Well, he did, but the way this game has been called here in the last couple of minutes, Norwell's gotten just about every foul call.
Yeah, they have. Garner across the timeline. Norwell staying in that 1-3-1. Latham, nice pass. Clark can't get it to go, but Garner pulls down the rebound. I think Nicholson's going to pick up that foul.
Yep.
Good rebound there from Antoine Washington.
Brandon nearly had him tied up, but just kind of more strength on the other end.
Zetas will take a seat. He's replaced by Trey Reeser. Reeser wearing number 32. He's a senior, and this is his first season of high school basketball.
Latham is that open again. Norwell missed him, and Coach McBride fixed that quickly.
Oh, what a move by Garner.
Oh, my goodness.
Couldn't
up and
get
under.
It to go. It'll be Norwell's basketball.
Wow. That was a tremendous move.
Yeah. He just couldn't convert it. 2:55 left here in the third. I would say a very low-scoring game from some of the games that New Haven has had. They've had several games in the 80s, several games in the 70s in the SAC. Nicholson gets stripped. Latham just picked his pocket. Latham on the run the other way. The lefty gets it inside to Washington. Washington hits the cutting Robinson, and Robinson.
What a great move again.
Yeah, excellent interior passing as well as Washington picks up the assist.
Yeah, great athleticism shown, and that's the difference here in the second half as New Haven kind of asserting themselves, making a lot more athletic plays than Norwell.
Norwell has outscored New Haven by a couple of points here in the third as Geiger tries to spin into the lane, and he is stuffed by James Garner. It will be a turnover on the Knights as well. Boy, good play by
clean
Garner. His first block of the game. Garner's just done a little bit of everything. 5 points.
Very defensively active.
3 rebounds, an assist, and a block. He's got the basketball. Washington on the post. Spin. Boy, that pass was zipped and way too hard for Robinson to handle. Knights will head the other way. I mean, it was a good idea, but throw a bounce pass. That's one thing you just don't see as much in the high school game as a good bounce pass.
See a lot in the girls' game.
A lot more than in the boys' game, and Geiger they just took it away from Well. Up ahead to Clark, and Clark with the basket. There's another assist, and the lead back up to 12.
Oh, what
another
a save.
Steal. Well, they're going to give it back to Norwell, so no turnover on the Knights. Luke Zettis checks back in for Norwell, and Purdy takes a seat. 1:04 left. Zettis in the back court, and Torsen looks ahead. See, there's nobody moving towards the basketball. Zettis looking for help. Boy, that was close to 10. Zettis able to pick it off out of the air and retain possession for the Knights. Nicholson works inside and scores.
Tough shot.
And Coach McBride is going to use the first timeout of the game. It's a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here and let you know that Peyton's Northern, a Kroger company, is now hiring. If you're 18, able to work 10-hour days and can pass pre-employment and background screenings, please apply online at jobs.kroger.com. Click on Logistics and Distribution, then search for Bluffton. That's jobs.kroger.com. Norwell trails by 10. They trailed by 12 at halftime. New Haven will have the basketball coming out of this timeout. That's from last night's game at New Haven. That was an 82-28 Lady Knights victory. And Norwell's going to bring some 1-2-2 pressure. Garner breaks it. Up ahead to Latham. And an easy basket for Zach Latham. That's not going to work, Derek.
No, that's shocking that Coach McBride would come out of the timeout with that. That's just not. I could have told you that's not going to work 2 days ago.
19 seconds left in the half. Torsen with the basketball up top. New Haven looking to maybe trap here a little bit too in the half court with 8 seconds. Geiger cross court pass. Zettis. They were looking for the back door. 2 seconds, and Zettis will not get a shot off. That will end 3 quarters of play. Norwell trailing by 12. We'll take a break and be back with fourth quarter action after these words.
At Pizza Hut, our original pan dough rises fresh every day, making it crispy on the outside, soft and chewy on the inside. And now you can get our original pan as part of the $6.99 any deal. That's 2 medium pizzas with any toppings, any crust, any specialty for just $6.99 each. Only at Pizza Hut.
Get the $6.99 any deal at your local Pizza Hut on North Main Street in Bluffton. The Bowling Center in Bluffton has adult youth double leagues with 1 adult and 1 youth per team, or 2 youth may make a team starting soon. The leagues are 10 weeks long and everyone plays every frame. With 22 lanes, there is plenty of excitement to go around. So stop by to practice or come relax with friends. And don't forget about Friday Fun. From 12 noon to 6 p.m., only $1 per game and 50-cent shoe rental in a smoke-free environment. The Bowling Center is located at 1231 South Main Street in Bluffton. Visit bowlbluffton.com.
Welcome back to the Castle. We're in the fourth quarter, and New Haven holds a 43-31 lead over the Knights as they try to move to 3-0 in the conference. The Knights will start the quarter with the basketball.
Nicholson in the middle. Nice, strong move by Brandon. He'll have a chance for a three-point play.
Well, that's a great start to the quarter, but they had a great start to the first quarter and the third quarter as well, so it hasn't carried over, as New Haven has found a way to take control in the later part of the quarters.
Nicholson with just 6 points. He'll try to add to it, and he does. It is amazing how much of a better shooter Brandon Nicholson is today than he was a year ago. 3 for 3 from the free throw line tonight. 17 turnovers for the Knights tonight. I was just counting those up, Derek. They do lead the rebounding war, though, 24-14, as Washington, free inside, pulls down his own rebound and is blocked. But Garner came out of there with it. Latham from the corner, no good. Garner, though, he misses.
Wow.
And finally, Geiger.
A lot of chances for New Haven.
Pulls down the rebound. Gardner just couldn't get that shot to go. The Knights working inside as Geiger gets it taken away, but it'll remain Norwell's basketball. Will's had a real good night. I've got him for 19 points, better than half of Norwell's total. Norwell's really struggled from the field, 11 of 30 on the evening. A lot of contested shots. They've only shot 2 3-pointers.
Yeah, didn't even take one in that third quarter.
That's part of the issue, though. If you're not any kind of outside threat, the defense can just kind of pack it in on you. Then they're contesting every shot that you have, even if it's 2 foot from the basket. See how they're packed into the lane? There's the backdoor pass. Good pass as Luke Zetas with the assist. Geiger with another basket, his 21st point. And the Knights trail by just 7. Inside, Washington can't get it to go, and Torson pulls down the rebound.
Knights need a basket here, and they turn it over.
It's a bad turnover as Clark misses on the other end. A wide open layup for Bakar Clark.
And they turn it over again. That's too many turnovers. You can't keep doing that. It is amazing to me the rate that Norwell's turning it over, and that was not a contested turnover. As a bad pass by Leidig, and Geiger couldn't handle it.
Well,
you can't close the gap doing that.
Right. Oh, I see what I did.
And that's
Was
Washington.
That Washington?
No, it was Washington from about 13 feet, and it looked like a real nice-looking shot there as he rattled it home, and Norwell kind of tosses their chances out the window to get back into the game again. And that was not that was not created by New Haven. That was a lack of execution by Norwell.
Yeah, they trail by 9 now with 5:19 left in this one. Torsen, they're trying to get it into the post. They've got Geiger at the free throw line and Nicholson in the low post. Zetas with the interior pass. Nicholson gets it up and in. Nicholson now with 5 points in the quarter. Good interior passing, and they trail by 7. Well, Norwell certainly has not shown any give up. Now,
no.
New Haven is missing a ton of shots here in the fourth quarter. They're 1 of 7. And it's not like they've been particularly difficult shots either. Latham's was a 3.
They missed a layup in transition right at the rim.
Yeah, Washington's missed 3 right at the rim.
Yeah, now New Haven's kind of taking the air out of the ball and trying to slow things down. 7-point lead, and they're not even putting the ball on the floor, so they're going to try to apply the count here.
Garner with the basketball, backing himself into the corner. Torsen now within range. Washington, the big man, comes out to set the pick. Washington, a senior as well. Inside, the Bulldogs turn it over. Quickly the other way, Leidig swatted by Latham.
Got to pull that out.
Yep. Quickly the other way, Robinson, he misses, and Zetas pulls down the rebound. It's on the floor. It'll be a jump ball.
And another turnover.
Yep. 3 in the quarter for the Knights, 20 for the game. Well, a lot of running up and down the floor. And
we said they couldn't get into that type of game, and that's exactly what they've let happen.
Well, but New Haven, my goodness.
Oh,
they're 1 of 8.
Yeah, New Haven should have this lead much bigger than it is.
Yeah, they only lead by 7. They should get by at least 17. And Leidig's going to pick up his first foul.
They've got a couple fouls to give still, though. That's just the 4th foul of this second half.
New Haven's got 7 tallied against them.
Yeah, Norwell has not been able to take advantage of that either because they had entered the bonus with 3:40 left in the third quarter.
Right.
And,
Robinson handling it for the Knights. Geiger's on top of that trap. Latham wide open for 3 again. Boy, he has gotten open on several occasions, and he has made most of them count. New Haven, their lead back to 10. Torsen finds Geiger at the free throw line. Geiger lost the handle. Now Nicholson's going to launch a 3, no good. It's out of bounds. And I think it's going to remain Norwell's basketball.
It is.
Washington had a hand on it. Norwell now 0 for 3 from beyond the arc. Inside, Nicholson gets it to go. Another good inbounds play.
That was pretty easy.
It was, as Norwell is going to use a full timeout here. Trailing by 8. We'll take it along with Coach McBride and be right back.
Troxel Equipment Company, a family-owned business, is dedicated to making you a satisfied customer with the best possible equipment, parts, and service. 3 locations in Bluffton, Huntington, and Wabash. You can find a full line of John Deere equipment, mowers and generators from Honda, blowers and chainsaws by Steel. Experience superior service and selection at Troxel Equipment, your solutions dealer. Find them online at troxelequipment.com.
Welcome back to the Castle. We've got 3:06 left in the contest. New Haven 48, Norwell 40. The Knights have kept this thing within about 8 to 12 points for this most of the second half. They've had it as close as 6. They had it down to 4 even after trailing by a lot in that first half, but they haven't had it closer. New Haven has consistently pulled away each time the Knights have tried to make a run.
Sagern had predicted 61-50. That ain't going to happen. Garner, 3-on-1 break. Great pass to Latham. Boy, that's how you run a break right there,
it is,
Derek.
And we said that we didn't necessarily agree with the fact that Norwell applied pressure in that first half. Now you're at the point where you're in.
You have to.
You do, and that's a travel. You're in a spot where you just have to, and And I said this in the first half, you can't put yourself in this spot. You can't be down 10 against New Haven, because what they can do is they can run and score points in a very quick fashion.
Torson's going to check back in for the Knights. Connor had 3 fouls in the first half, hasn't committed one in the second. Clark has really slowed down his shooting here in the fourth quarter. He's only taken one shot. Latham finds Washington, and New Haven just kind of making Norwell work on defense right now, playing keep away. Clark finds Robinson, but before he got rid of the pass, there was a foul called. I think it's going to go on Quentin Purdy. That's his second, team's 5th. So still one more to give with 2:23 left. That's Robinson in the corner being guarded by Gardner. Nice kick out to Latham. Wide open 3. Good.
He's killed him all night. There has been no change in that, and that's been an issue for Norwell.
Zach Latham.
How can you get that open and consistently?
That's his 4th 3.
This is a guy that's proved he can make it from the outside, and you continue to leave him open.
Yeah, he's 4 for 6 as Geiger with another 2.
Got to give him credit. New Haven is, as a team, is working to get him open.
Washington is going to be fouled, and he scores. I think it's going to go on Nicholson. If it does, yep, that'll be his 3rd. Yeah. And Washington will go to the line for the potential 3-point play. He's got 6 points, now 7.
Greg, 61-50 is not out of the question here.
Yeah, it's possible.
I think New Haven's probably going to get more than that, though. Norwell.
I don't think Norwell's going to score 8 points.
Well, and the question being that I don't know if Norwell will employ the foul game here at the end. That's going to be an and one.
Zettis muscling his way to the basket for his 6th point. Yeah, we might. Gardner picks up his 3rd. 18 fouls now on New Haven. Good strong drive by the senior. And his free throw, nothing but net. Lead back down to 11 for New Haven. Clark into the front court. He's going to pull it back out. In the middle, that's Washington.
Norwell not trying to foul, they're just trying to trap.
Yeah. Latham open for 3 again. Buries another 3. Boy, and Norwell went to that 1-3-1, and Zach Latham has made him pay. He's hit 3 threes here in the fourth quarter. And now New Haven with their biggest lead of the game at 14. 59-45. The steal by Clark. He'll head the other way and be stopped by Purdy. Clark didn't like the hard foul, but Purdy wasn't trying to hurt him, and they shake hands. That's a good thing to see.
Now, Purdy...
Quentin picks up his 3rd.
Without a doubt, a hard foul, but he was definitely making a basketball play, even got both hands on the ball. It's going to be a full timeout used by Coach McBride.
We will take it along with Coach. The Knights trail by 14, just under a minute left here at the Castle. We'll be right back.
Indiana Physical Therapy is your choice in Northern Indiana. Just like filling a medication prescription from your doctors, you have the right to choose who provides your physical therapy, and IPT accepts all insurance coverage. With extended hours, we are open 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and offer same-day appointments. We have 17 conveniently located clinics with 7 in Fort Wayne and 1 each in Angola, Auburn, Bluffton, Columbia City, Goshen, Huntington, Kendallville, New Haven, and Warsaw. Contact Indiana Physical Therapy to start your therapy today. We will get you back to work, play, and life. Celebrating 29 years in business, Indiana Physical Therapy is your choice for physical therapy. Call 260-209-2464 or visit indianapt.com.
And welcome back to the Castle. 58.8 to go. It's a 59-45 New Haven lead. And it's Clark at the line for the Bulldogs, shooting the 1-and-1, actually 2 shots
Yep, he'll be shooting 2. He's got 12 points on the evening. 8 of them were in the first half. He's really slowed down his shooting pace here in the second half.
Bulldogs haven't shot all that well from the line.
No.
Oh, wait. Excuse me. They haven't had all that many attempts, really.
They were 3 of 7 coming into the fourth quarter. They're now 1 of 3.
Yep.
So that's 4 of 10. Make it 5 of 11. And they've hit the 60 level. Well, it's going to be close to 61-50. Geiger gets to the rim and gets fouled. Can he dunk, Derek?
Will?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And
I've never seen him dunk.
Well, the only time we've even seen him attempt it was on an alley-oop play, and it went in and out. But and he doesn't really try to do it. I guess it's just not in his game, but he definitely can.
It's the 4th foul on Zach Latham. And little off on that free throw.
Well left.
This one also off.
Left.
And Harris pulled down the rebound. New Haven has not had to do a lot of rebounding here in the second half.
I can't imagine Norwell's going to foul.
36 seconds left. Gardner keeps backing himself into a corner. As now he'll leave it for Robinson. Robinson, a little weave going on with Clark. Robinson and Gardner up top, 22 seconds left. Clark to the free throw line and back to Gardner, and they are going to be content to dribble out the clock, I think, Derek.
Yep,
13 seconds left. 60-45. 6 seconds. Gardner breaks the pressure to the free throw line, and Norwell's going to give up defensively. Gardner flips it to the official, and it's a final. New Haven stays perfect in the NE8. They go to 3-0, temporarily tie East Noble. Norwell falls to 1-3.
7-7 and 1-2 in the conference.
1-2. So we'll take a quick break and be back with stats and your post-game show after these words from our sponsors.
At First Bank of Bern, we believe in the American dream of owning a home. Having a space you can call your own. In fact, we've helped people realize that dream for over 125 years. Whether you're looking to buy your first home, refinance an existing loan, or move into something a little bigger, we believe our lending experts have the local knowledge and experience to help make your dream a reality. Apply online at firstbankofbern.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Looking for future leaders we can trust and believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Indiana. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It begins by making their grades and being on time for practice. It includes learning to listen, following directions, accepting responsibility, being a good role model. And it's about respect for officials, opponents, the rules, and each other. The result? It transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. High school sports. There's so much more than just a game. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Bluffton Roofing Incorporated prides themselves on developing a long-term relationship with their customers, listening to their needs and suggesting the proper course of action, be it preventative maintenance, repair, or replacement. Bluffton Roofing and owner James Worth are GAF certified and are certified weather stopper roofing contractors. Bluffton Roofing is fully insured, protecting you and your home. Call 824-3564 or 307-6313. Bluffton Roofing Incorporated. Quality first home improvements.
I'm Dr. Josh Bell from Corrective Chiropractic in Bluffton. My goal with chiropractic treatment is to make you feel and function better by providing neurostructural corrections to help put your spine back into alignment, to strengthen your nerve system, and to relieve nerve pain. We strive to help you heal and stay healthy for years to come. Our full-service chiropractic team in Bluffton provides corrective exercises, lifestyle advice, along with spinal and postural screenings. We're also providers of custom rapid weight loss programs. Lose weight fast now, 20, 30, 40 pounds, with a doctor-supervised weight loss system. To learn more or schedule an appointment, call Corrective Chiropractic today at 260-353-1400, serving Bluffton, Yoder, Decatur, Bern, Montpelier, and the surrounding area. Corrective Chiropractic, 360 North Main Street, Suite A, Dutch Mill Plaza, Bluffton, Indiana.
At First Bank of Bern, we believe free should mean free. Not kind of free. Completely free. That's exactly what our free and easy checking account is. Free of fees, free of hassles, free of catches. You also get a free Visa check card, free online banking, free mobile banking, free telephone banking, free text and email alerts, and free e-statements. You get all this when you sign up for free and easy checking from First Bank of Bern. It's that simple. First Bank of Bern. Member FDIC.
Hey, honey, is this your course schedule for the fall?
Yep.
Let me see here. English, good. Chemistry, trigonometry, excellent. World history, I love world history. Baseball? Wait, baseball? Baseball isn't a course, honey.
Well, sure it is, Mom. High school sports are about so much more than winning and losing. They teach lessons that can't be taught in a classroom, like accountability and self-discipline, the value of teamwork. I may not be earning a grade, but I'm learning how to compete later in life. Isn't that what getting a good education is all about?
Yes, of course it is. I was just testing you.
What can teenagers here in Indiana learn from participating in high school sports? Plenty, as it turns out. That's why they're called education-based athletics.
High school sports. There's so much more than just a game.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
It's estimated that 1 in 4 children has a vision-related condition that can affect learning. Your child's vision can make a big difference in academic performance. Annual exams are recommended to rule out vision problems that may interfere with your child's vision, development, and academic performance. Doctors Mitchell, Miller, and Fry at Bluffton Family Eye Care can detect any vision problems your child may have, which can then be promptly treated. Our optometrists provide the expert care, advice, and the follow-up you need to look and feel your best by combining experience and expertise with the latest technology.
To look and feel your best, visit Doctors Mitchell, Miller, and Fry at Bluffton Family Eye Care, 105 West Harvest Road in Bluffton. Call 824-3424. That's 824-3424 or online at BlufftonFamilyEyeCare.com.
Are you looking for a job or know of someone who is? Peyton's Northern, a Kroger company, is now hiring. At Peyton's, you'll get a job with career advancement opportunities, employee discounts, tuition reimbursement, and educational assistance. A successful applicant will need to be 18 years of age, have the ability to work weekends, holidays, and overtime, can operate motorized equipment, complete strength and endurance testing, pass a pre-employment and background screens, work 10-hour shifts, and lift 55 pounds. At Peyton's, we offer matching 401k retirement savings, paid incentive days, personal and vacation days, and you'll receive Kroger benefits after 60 days. All qualified applicants are encouraged to apply for this opportunity online at jobs.kroger.com. Click on Logistics and Distribution Jobs and search for Bluffton. For questions, call Peyton Staffing Center at 260-827-2108 or 2109. That's jobs.kroger.com. 260-827-2108. Peyton's Northern, now hiring.
Welcome back to the Castle for the final time this evening. Norwell falls to New Haven here at home, 60-45, a victory for the Bulldogs. Greg, go ahead and dive into the final statistics as we are joined by head coach Mike McBride.
You want to go ahead and talk to him? All right. Coach, thanks for joining us. It took me a little bit to get through the stats and get everything added up. Well, I think we probably saw what we expected from New Haven tonight.
Yeah, it wasn't like we didn't work on all that stuff. You know, we knew what we wanted to do, and I don't know, just the beginning of the game, it looked like we didn't do it. To me, I felt like it looked like we didn't really do anything that we had worked on. We did not look up the floor. We knew we could beat the press up the floor on the sideline and the diagonal. We showed them on film. We worked on practice, and then for whatever reason, we got in a game and we just didn't. We didn't do it. We kept. It was like we got it and we wanted to throw it back.
Yeah.
And
a couple of times, and it was only a couple of times that we did get the diagonal. Yeah. It worked.
Yeah, but we got to do a better job of it. And the problem was we just got a bad start, and against a good team, you should get down 12 points, 10, 12 points. And we did a good job getting it back to 2. I think we got it back to 20 to 18. Mm-hmm. And then they go on a run again. It was just those things. We have to do a better job. We just have to take better care of the basketball. You have to get our perimeter guys to do a little better job of that. And we've got to get our outside shooting. We've got to get some more outside shooting. We just don't have. Did we even hit a
down
3?
A lot. No, 0 for 3. That's what I had. But we turned down several good looks.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like I don't know if it's confidence or what. And the thing is, it's not like no one's been told not to shoot.
Right.
We've told them what type of threes we want them to look for. And when we have those, we need to take those shots, which I thought we have for the most part this year. Tonight was just a game where I didn't think we looked to shoot. We just didn't look for some of the things I thought was there. I thought if we could have advanced the ball up the floor, we could have had some 2-on-1s, which we did a few times. And then the other thing, we had a barrage there. We had like 4 possessions in a row where we missed layups in the second quarter, and we can't do that against a good team. I mean, and that's what we're trying to get them to understand. It's like you just got to be able to, they change defenses a lot, so you got to be able to have your guys have to be able to make basketball plays. And I thought their guys made a lot more basketball plays than our guys did. I mean, they just seem to have a sense of how to play. Like when a guy's going into the end, they take pretty good angles to try not to foul, and like I thought there was a couple times like when we had some opportunities even the second half to cut it. I think we were down 7, and I think we even had a couple chances to cut it, and we didn't convert on what I thought were good opportunities like we did. Like I thought one time Levi should have just shot faked, and and it's just those things, and I don't know, it's just a feel. We just don't seem to have quite the same feel that their guys had, I thought.
Do you think the 11 days in between games had much to do with it, Coach? Or 10 games, 10 days?
I would like to think not. It wasn't like we practiced 11 days either. Mm-hmm. I mean, we had some time off in there, and I thought our practices were going pretty well. I felt good about our preparation and what we were doing. I felt our plan of attack was good. And then so I don't think so. But like we didn't catch the ball. There were times where we had guys open. Like I know we had a pass. Will threw it up to Brandon, and it was wide open, but he overthrows him.
Yeah.
And then we have a pass up the sideline, and Will doesn't catch the ball. I mean, and I know they're not doing it on purpose, but it's like, look, we got to be able to just pass and catch it. Yeah. And I thought that we did not do that very well tonight. I thought we did a lot better against Wayne than we did tonight. And I don't know, maybe the 11 days did have something. I would like to think not, but
well, turnovers were certainly the story tonight. I had you for 21, and I'm sure I didn't get them all. But the 8 in the first quarter, I think, were costly. It just gave them so many more opportunities.
Oh, yeah.
They end up taking 52 shots to our 38.
Yeah, you can't win. Yeah. You can't win doing that. And the other thing is what happens is when you get down, now we're down 10 points.
Yeah.
And okay, we gotta come with some pressure. And well, you saw what happened there. They just
we talked about
they
that.
go right through it, and then it leaves their shooters open. When we can play man-to-man, we can guard the shooters better.
Right.
Like Latham didn't shoot it near as well against our man-to-man. Once we had to go trap, then he's just standing down there in the corner and knocking down 3 after 3. I don't know how many he hit in the second half.
Well, he was 3 for 4 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So,
but that's when we had to start
5 of 6 for the game.
Yeah, and that's when we had in the second half or the whole game.
No, the whole game.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's when we had to start doing more trapping those in that fourth quarter.
Yep.
And
just got him open in the corner.
Yeah, and then he's open, and
he just goes to the same spot every time.
Well, he's got guards that can create.
Yeah.
And so therefore, he doesn't have to. He's got other guys on the floor that they've got multiple weapons, and their 5 best players are 5 seniors.
Right.
And they're a good team. I was not disappointed at all with our effort. I thought we played hard. I thought we competed hard. I was just disappointed with our execution, the way we executed against the press when we worked on it over and over. And we didn't work on it with 5 guys. We worked on it with 7 and 8 guys. So we worked on handling traps and all those things. And I thought we were ready, and we didn't handle it very well. And so we got to take a look at it. We'll go back, watch the film. Maybe there's something that we got to do different. But I'm going to be honest with you. I really thought the areas we thought were going to be open up the floor were open.
Yeah.
And I just didn't
either couldn't see it or just couldn't get it there.
Yeah, and that's what I don't know. I felt like on the floor we weren't looking for it. I felt like on the floor we were constantly looking middle or looking to throw the ball backwards is what I thought. And we didn't have much aggressiveness to attack off the dribble, which I thought we could have done. They were gapped pretty wide. And, so hopefully we'll get a little better with that and keep moving forward. But that was certainly a game we had hoped would go a little different. But when you get in, I think we were down 8 at the end of the one, or was it down 6?
14-8.
Okay, so we were down 6 after a bad start, and then it just and we got to do a better job of. We just didn't win any quarters, I don't think. And we got to do a better job of that. So hopefully we can, maybe the last quarter or the third quarter we won.
Third quarter, I think we did. Yeah, because we were down 12 at halftime, and well, I guess it was 12. We tied them in the third quarter.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But again, and I mean, if you look at the quarter scores, we didn't take advantage of what I thought were opportunities tonight.
Yeah,
is what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
And I'm disappointed in that just because I felt like we prepared them for those opportunities, and then we just didn't do that tonight. And then there were times we did execute what we want to do, and then we missed the layup. And it's just all has to happen together. We've got to make the passes. We've got to handle the pressure. We've got to make the layup. Because when you play a team that's going to press, you've got to attack the pressure, I think. I don't think you can just try to get it across half court.
Got to use it against them.
Yeah, and that's what we want to do. We just weren't able to do it effectively.
Coach, you head up to Northfield on Tuesday evening. We're not going to be able to make that trip. But Northfield's they've struggled so far this year. How much do you know about them?
They've struggled. I've got some film on them. I've watched a little bit of film on them. They're scrappy. They play hard. They're not very big. I expect we're going to see some zone, which I think is what they'll do a little bit against us. And we'll have to play well. We'll have to execute well. We'll have to get the ball where we want it to be, and we'll have to be ready to knock in some shots. I think defensively is going to be a key. It's probably a game where I feel like we can extend our pressure a little bit, where tonight I did not feel that was in our best advantage, at least in the early part of the game.
And New Haven's just so athletic.
Yeah, well, and they're going to shoot it pretty quick anyway, so it's not like you got to go. I mean, their possessions weren't long anyway. So, so I feel like, it's just a game, but we got to get on that bus. We got to ride over there. We got to be ready to go, and we got to try to bounce back after this one.
Very good. Coach, thanks so much for joining us this evening. Appreciate it. Head coach Mike McBride, gracious as always, joining us here in the post-game show. And Derek will run through some stats here real quick, and then get some more thoughts from you and name a player of the game. For New Haven, their final total was 60. They were 24 of 52 from the field for 46%, 7 of 18 from beyond the arc for 39%, 5 of 10 from the line for 50%. I had them committing 9 turnovers and grabbing 17 rebounds. Individually, they were led by Zach Latham, 8 of 11 from the field, 5 of 6 from beyond the arc for 21 points. Also in double figure was Brakar Clark. He had 13. Then Antoine Washington had a nice second half, ended up with 7. Very balanced here. Both Davion Harris and James Garner put in 5. Demario Robinson had 4. Then Donovan Lewis hit a 3-pointer, and Thomas Latham had a basket as well for that total of 60. For your Norwell Knights, they were 17 of 38 from the floor. That's 45%. which improved greatly from the first half. 0 for 3 from beyond the arc, as Coach referenced, but 11 of 15 from the free throw line. That's pretty good at 73%. 21 big turnovers this evening, and they out-rebounded New Haven pretty significantly with 27 rebounds. Of course, the shot difference between 52 and 38 had a lot to do with that between New Haven and Norwell. Individually, they were led by Will Geiger. I had him for a double-double, 23 points and 11 rebounds on 9 of 14 shooting, 5 of 8 from the line. Also in double figures, Brandon Nicholson. He had 11, 4 of 8, 0 for 1 from beyond the arc, and 3 of 3 from the line. Luke Zetas had 7 points. He was 3 of 8 from the field, 0 for 1 from beyond the arc, and 1 for 2 from the free throw line. Then Quentin Purdy had 2 points on 1 of 2 shooting from the field. Also grabbed a rebound, and Trey Reeser did not score. He was 0 for 2, 0 1 from beyond the arc. Luke Leidig had the other basket. The other 2 points. He was 2 for 2 from the line and 0 for 4 from the field. He also collected a rebound. So those are the stats for the Knights. Derek, and your thoughts on a player of the game.
This is a very, very good New Haven ball club.
Yeah,
that's what it comes down
solid.
to. They really are. They gave the most impressive loss. Of course, you never want to accept a loss, but the most impressive loss on the schedule there to me is the fact that they Blackhawk only beat them by 3.
Yeah,
that's
Blackhawks a great
Blackhawks a team that, in my opinion, it would be a travesty if they didn't win the state championship in 1A. I think they could probably win it all the way up to 3A.
Potentially,
they're really that good. So that to me, being able to hang around with them and be right in the basketball game, that went right down to the wire. So this is a very good basketball team. You got to look past the mistakes. I totally agree with Coach McBride. Played really hard, just didn't execute well. And sometimes you have nights like that. It's unfortunate that it comes in a conference game. You would have liked to come into this conference game at 2-1 or at 2-0, and then take the loss here and still be in the race at 2-1. 1-2 really sets them back, so that now they're going to have to count on some other teams to lose. But it still doesn't put them out of the race. So again, you just got to kind of look past this one and get ready for Northfield on Tuesday.
From a player of the game perspective,
it's Will.
Yeah, it's got to be Will.
I mean, he was by far the most productive player on the floor tonight for Norwell.
Yeah, and possibly on either side.
Yeah.
Although Zach Latham, you could make an argument for him too. But yeah, Will, I had him for 23 points, 11 rebounds as well. Played really hard inside. So Will Geiger will be your player of the game. And with that, Derek, take us home, young man.
Well, the final score one more time. It's New Haven 60, Norwell 45. The Bulldogs improved to 10-4 on the season and 3-0 in the Northeast State. Norwell falls to 7-7 and 1-2 in the conference. On behalf of Craig Van Meter and the entire Wells County Boys crew, this is Derek Decker saying so long and God bless.
We hope you enjoyed this high school sports broadcast on the Voice Sports Network. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
The preceding production is property of Voice Enterprises, and all rights are reserved worldwide. Thank you for listening to this production of Voice Enterprises, taking media in a new direction.